the most appropriate theory from my side with my experience. I can say that it was a human error. What I see that, as I can see from the video, that the flap setting was up, and the undercarriage, which is the wheel, that was down, which is very surprising that how it has happened. It could be a human error. How it can happen is that instead of one of the pilot, instead of putting the landing gear up, must have put the flaps up. It could be the fuel contamination, where the both engine can have deprived of good fuel, and that could cut the engine off. Which I'm surprised that he able to make that mayday call. Generally, he must have been overburdened with the task in hand. See, prima facie, there could be many reasons why the aircraft has gone down. If you ask my personal view, so I have a couple of personal view, and which is absolutely my own view. It's nothing to do with anybody else, and neither I'm diminishing anybody. This is what I see the video and my personal own view. Number one, the most appropriate theory from my side with my experience, I can say that it was a human error. What I see that, and which I could be completely wrong, but what I see is a human error, because both the engine was in full power when it took off, and within 3 kilometers it's fell from the sky, which is unheard of. And as I can see from the video, that the flap setting was up, and the undercarriage, which is the wheel, that was down. So when we take off within say 10 to 50 feet above the ground, when we have positive rate of climb, we immediately take the undercarriage up, which is the wheel up. And in this case, you could see the undercarriage was, although this aircraft has gone 425 feet above the ground, still it was not there, which is very surprising that how it has happened. Because immediately once we start climbing, we should, generally it goes up. At the same time, the flap setting, which should be down, which should be in configuration of climbing, which was what I can see from the video, it was not there. So it could be a human error. How it can happen is that instead of one of the pilot, instead of putting the landing gear up, must have put the flaps up. And that's the only explanation what, as my experience, I could say that this could be one of the reason what has happened. And the second reason, it could be the fuel contamination, where the both engine can have deprived of good fuel, and that could cut the engine off, which led to fall of this aircraft. And other theories are there: hydraulic failure, bird strike, all these things are also there, cannot be ruled out. So this is my own view, and this is what I see prima facie, and after investigation I'm sure we'll come back to the pinpoint what has happened.
Sir, in last many incident we have seen that mainly this type of incident or crash mainly on the Boeing planes. So is there any technical fault, a technical error or engineering error in Boeing, especially in 787 or 737 MAX? What do you think?
Well, 787, it's unheard of that there is any, there was no problem with the aircraft as such. Yes, in 737, MAX, which has a couple of aircraft crash, we have seen one Ethiopian Airlines and one Indonesian Air, in Jakarta. So I think that was a new aircraft, and there was a problem with the system, and it's already under investigation. And so as far the 787, the Dreamliner concerned, we never heard of any problem. And this is 1100 and plus aircraft is in service. Never one single plane has missed out of such disaster. So not that I know of, or not I have heard that any system problem of for this aircraft or Boeing. You know, this is totally fluke. You know, there are other airline also falls down of the make some accidents and all, but it's totally fluke, nothing to do with the system, as far my understanding goes.
During takeoff, we also have seen that the pilot said made it to the ATC. After that, within some second, this incident happened. So, pilot aware that any technical error.
See, Mayday is like just giving information to the ATC and a nearby all that same frequency. Who then they know what the aircraft is going through, and basically Mayday we give at the very end when we have totally beyond our control, or we are about to land or ditch in the water. This is the time we give Mayday call. That's mean it's very serious, and this is what the pilot could do. What I can gather, after taking off, after a few seconds it landed, and I'm sure he was busy, flying the aircraft. We always say, aviate, navigate, and communicate. So communication was the last which he did. So aviate, flying the aircraft. So he was doing that because he must have been super stressed because in a full plane, and plane is going down. So Mayday, I'm surprised that he able to make that Mayday call. Generally, he must have been overburdened with the task in hand.